Congratulations on your win.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
네, 오늘 베릴 선수 첫 번째 POG 첫 번째 인터뷰입니다.
BeryL, congratulations on your first POG and your first interview. How are you feeling?
이번 스프링 시즌 첫
This is my first POG for the spring split. So it feels nice.
네, 기분 좋으실 것 같아요. 네, 쇼메이커 선수는 이제 POG 500점으로
And ShowMaker, this is your fifth POG so far. You're tying up at second place with Con. How are you feeling?
오늘 2세트 받을지 몰랐는데
I didn't know I would win POG in game 2,
좋습니다.
but I'm happy that I was able to get the POG point. We have some question about your draft. So this time around, the Con's pick into Nar was Fizz, and in game number 2, Rise came back to mid lane after almost a year. Can you guys kind of give us some description about those new picks coming on?
피즈 같은 경우는 이제
For Fizz,
경력도 되게 오래돼서
because Con has a long experience, and Fizz top used to be a thing back in those days, so he brought those memory back and he did fantastic job. And about Rise, I played Rise a lot last year and also 2 years before, and I thought I thought Rise was a good champion into Azir. Since you brought that up, we were expecting Azir versus Victor matchup, but then they actually changed their mind into Azir. Why do you think that happened? Azir is a champion that has to exert a lot of pressure around the top and bottom lane as well. So I think they decided that Victor staying in lane doesn't really matter. I think they were looking for some rotation coming out from mid lane priority.
제가 이제 베릴 선수한테 여쭤보고 싶은 거는 오늘
I have a question over to BeryL. Damwon Kia and Liv Sandbox actually had identical first herald percentage, and we had a huge fight breaking out around that first herald, and you guys were able to gain huge momentum based on that team fight victory. So was that one of your focal points for today's match?
저희 조합이 이제 전령을 먹으면
Our comp had a lot of tools to snowball with that herald, so we tried to focus on that first herald. So we have a question about your REL, and you guys also had this program together about this new champion REL. So in the beginning of the split, a lot of people were having question marks over to this champion, but now it's changing. How do you rate this champion? Personally, I think REL is one of the high tier meta pick in the support role. Yesterday we had multiple POGs going over to REL, and you once again was able to pick up this REL POG as well. So we're like a little bit curious whether REL is being the POG or the pilots are being the POG. So what's your thought about that?
이게 은근 다른 라이너들이
I think
그 W랑
other laners
그런 CC가
doesn't have enough heads up into the engagement coming out from REL's W and ultimates. But once the players get used to it, just like Rakan, the ult W combo, I think the players will start to react to it.
쇼메 선수 이 경기 같은 경우에는 저희가 이제
And ShowMaker in game number 2,
아지르 대 라이즈 구도를 살짝만 설명해 줄 수 있으실까요?
we need some explanation about this Azir versus Rise matchup. I think better player wins. Once you guys got the priority down on the bottom lane, you actually control the mid lane wave. You were actually pulling the wave to your side, and you were actually looking for some gank, and it really worked out well. Was that all planned? I mean, that's what happens when Rise in level 1 and 2. And also, Rise can put a lot of gank pressure onto the opponent mid laner. So we had the perfect tempo to pull that off.
이 스킬을 못 찍어가지고
And Azir can take E in level 2, so we were looking for some early gank, and we were able to force the flash out of Fate. And also Azir missed two of the melee minion and also the Canyon minions, so he lost a lot of XP as well.
구도 설명인 것 같습니다. 네, 그렇습니다. 하지만 이 경기에서는 한타에서 조금
However, in game number 2, we had a lot of close team fights. What do you think about the matchup between your two comps?
제가 좀 범인인 거.
I think I'm the guilty one.
제가 쌍둥이 타워에서 안 물렸으면 그냥 끝났을 텐데.
Like unless I got caught in the Nexus turrets, we could just close out the game. But you know, the longer the better.
아, 죄송합니다.
We had more fun, right? But I'm sorry. I want to say sorry. It's my fault.
아니요 별로.
It was not fun at all.
아니 근데 뭐 실수는 실수지만 픽 자체에도
But there were some mistakes, but we had a lot of new picks coming out in the LCK. You were popping off from the get-go to the end, so you were able to get that POG. But since you said that you made a mistake, who do you want to give this POG over to on your side of teammates? Maybe Kwan? Cyan? Cyan does have a lot of tough time into Renekton Nidalee, but he was doing such a great job to hanging in there, and also he was able to put a lot of impact over to the bottom lane as well.
네, 그렇죠. 아까 POG 선정에도 투표수가 많이 갈린 것만 봐도 모든 선수들이 활약을 해준 거 알 수 있을 것 같습니다. 자, 이번 주
In this
일요일에
upcoming
이제
Sunday,
강팀이 된
you'll be
DRX와
facing
맞붙게
up against
되시는데요.
DRX, one of the
첫
top
연휴를
teams
앞둔
here in the
마지막
LCK, and that's
경기
gonna be your last match before the long holiday. How are you gonna prepare for that?
경기 턴이 이틀이긴 하지만 뭐
We
내일
have 2 days
열심히 준비해서
until that match, so we will do our best tomorrow to prepare
좋은 성적
in order to
이루겠습니다.
get a
네, 쇼메이커
good
선수도
performance in that
마지막으로
DRX
각오
series.
부탁드리겠습니다.
DRX 최근에 경기 보는데
Watching their recent matches, I think they are
좀 많이 경계해야
really
될것 같고.
on point, so we have to keep our guards up. And also, I saw Puzik spamming some weird picks in the solo queue, but I hope he can play something ordinary, or maybe he can try something new.
기대하고 계실 것 같은데요. 저희도 한번 기대를
So this will be the end of the interview with BeryL, ShowMaker, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
감사합니다.